Hello and welcome to another video of my channel Personal Finance Logics. Today we are going to talk about retiring early and the important facts you need to know. These days we all hear a lot about retiring early and there's a lot of interest around this concept. And why wouldn't it be? After all, the idea of leaving job and not having to work is quite appealing for everyone. I will give you some very important facts and things to consider for people of different categories who are planning to retire early. According to the U.S. Social Security, a worker can choose to retire as early as age 62 and as late as 70. But there is a catch in retirement age. If you retire early, you will receive reduced Social Security benefits. If you want to get full benefits at the time of retirement, you have to be 67 years of age. Delayed retirement till 70 years will mean more benefits. You can visit the USA Social Security website to calculate your own specific benefits. A 2023 U.S. News report revealed that many Americans retire early and median age of retirement now stands at 64. Before going into the 6 things to consider, I will share most common myths around early retirement. First myth is that, once retired, you will never have to work again. Secondly, once retired, you don't have to worry about your finances as they are all sorted out. Third myth is that you are fully covered as far as health care costs are concerned. Fourth one is even more interesting. Many think that finally they can start living a life of their choice. And one final popular myth is that more than $1 million will be enough for retirement. These all sound very interesting and are almost true. But just almost. Stick around till the end of the video to learn a popular myth and a surprising fact. Also, don't miss point 4 as it will be critical for your retirement planning. Point number 1, age of your choice for retirement. At what age do you want to retire? The question is simple but has a lot of related questions that need to be answered. I will not ask you about any financial and other such details but try to answer these simple questions. First question that you need to ask yourself is that why do you want to retire? There can be many possible answers. You may think that you have worked for too long in life. You can also believe that 9-to-5 job is not your thing or that you want to do something big in life. Something greater than all the other things you have achieved so far. Here I will stop you for one thing. What is your age at this moment? Are you a 60-year-old person thinking about retirement, or you are a 45-year-old thinking to establish something new? Or are you 35 years old who has some dreams to accomplish? Your answer about age will tell you about your life plans. You may find out that you are tired of your routine at the age of 60, so you want to retire now. You may learn that going to a regular job is not appealing for you, and with your qualification and experience you can do something independently. You can also realize that being in mid-30s you can give your professional life a different direction, and with enough capital at hand you can start a new business of your own. So, what is it out of all these things? Your answer will tell you the reason and seriousness about retirement. After all, it can just be wishful thinking. If it is serious, have you worked out any details about retirement? Is there any plan? Have you done any research or have consulted anyone? If you don't have a retirement plan, then this is the time to start developing one. I think that the second question you should ask yourself is that what will you do with your spare time? I just want to relax and enjoy my time without having to do anything for the rest of my life. I want to play golf and socialize. I want to travel and see the world. These 3 are the most common answers about spending all the time you want to gain after retirement. Since you have answered the first question about your age, then be very sure that you will have time at hand. Not wanting to do anything is fine, but you will have to figure out something to do with your time. If you are not going to a job from 9 to 5 or not attending to any business, then what are you doing from morning till night? Many studies suggest that Americans who took early retirement faced the challenge of killing time. There were not many people around to socialize with. Sleeping more and leisurely time for all day turned out to be boring, and majority of the people wanted to go back to work. CEO of Total Wealth Academy Steve Davis returned to work within 6 months of early retirement. The only difference was that he returned to something that he really enjoyed doing. So this much detail should be enough to tell you the first thing about retirement, the why and how of retirement. If you want to retire early, at least make a plan of your own. If you want to retire with full Social Security benefits, then there is no early retirement. You will retire at the normal age. 5 years early retirement can give you relief from working hours, but your benefits will be compromised. You will have to see the volume of your savings. My advice to you is, if you want to retire early, then choose an age while you can still enjoy your life. My second point is, healthcare and housing expenses. You may choose to retire at any age of your choice and you might have planned accordingly, but remember that healthcare and housing expenses are not going anywhere. I have put these two together because they have externalities that are out of control for anyone. You may have a budget, but these expenses can disturb your budget if you have not saved up millions. We all know that healthcare is not at all cheap. And it is even more expensive if you are old. Take the example of Medicare. It provides health coverage to more than 61 million Americans, but it does not start till the age of 65. So if you plan to retire early, you need an alternate plan. And such plans are so expensive that Director of Wealth Management for the Mather Group in Chicago called it costing an arm and a leg. Some calculations estimate that for a single person with income of $54,360, insurance would cost around $385 a month. So think about the health costs and the kind of insurance plan you can afford. Health issues can occur at any age, but trust me, in your old age health will be a big concern. Chances of ill health will be much higher than at young age, so think it through. And when we come to the housing expenses, the first thing on mind is the mortgage. I can say for sure that it is obviously great to think of retirement without any mortgage, but is it going to be so for you? While planning for retirement, you can make a goal to retire without mortgage, but a significant number of people fail to meet this goal. According to an American financing survey, 44% of retired homeowners between ages 60 and 70 still carry a mortgage. After mortgage, second category of housing-related expenses is maintenance and property taxes. Even if you have paid off mortgage, these two expenses do not go anywhere. They not only stay but are likely to increase with time. Dorsey is a financial planner from California who said that home maintenance and increasing property taxes can take up a large chunk of your budget. And information from Rocket Mortgage reveals that New Jersey, Illinois and New Hampshire have the highest property tax rates, but Hawaii, Alabama and Colorado have the lowest. You can also find information about other states that offer lower property tax rates for persons 65 and older. Experts claim that repair and maintenance can cost up to 1% of the purchase value of the house on an annual basis. For a house costing $450,000, its annual repair and maintenance cost can be around $4,500. Now, when you have all this important information, have you planned for these expenses? If you have not, then start doing it. My third point is, life ahead can be a long one. By now you should have thought and planned about your retirement age, and I have told you about health and housing expenses. But now I come to another very important point, which is dealing with remaining part of your life. No one knows about the length of one's life. You can stay healthy or you can get sick, but how can you be sure? CDC, which is Center for Disease Control and Prevention in America, has reported that life expectancy in America is now 76.4 years. It means that lifespan in America, which was 77.28 years in 2020, has now reduced, but many persons live a longer life. So if you decide to retire at 50, you may have 28 to 30 years to live as per the American average. This time can be shorter if you increase your age of retirement. In all fair estimates for early retirement, when you can still enjoy life, you should be around 50 years old. And now you have 25 to 30 years to live. That's quite a long time. You need to figure out what to do with this much time. It is not dealing with free time for a short period. It is not a long vacation. You will have to reimagine all your life routine and style. What do you want to do with your life? And life problems can change, but there will be problems of some kind. Business Journal from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania reported that one of the big questions retired persons or soon to retire persons ask themselves is now what? What to do with the remaining time? Purpose of life has to be defined. Lifestyle may be maintained with the savings for retirement, but what else to do? Many start questioning themselves about their legacy. The question can be hard to answer. My advice to you on this is to really think through retirement. You know yourself the best, so see for yourself that what kind of person you are and what do you really want to do in life in your time after retirement. For example, you can choose to retire from a 9-to-5 job so that you can focus on something of your choice. Or you can choose to retire from a business by winding it up so that you earn through your investments. Even as investor, you will have to keep looking after a few things, so you retire from business but stay somewhat busy as an investor. Or you take up social service or something of that kind for a meaningful engagement for the next 30 years. Even in this case, you are working and have not retired. One last scenario is that you have stocked enough money to just squander away for the rest of your natural life. Seems difficult and impractical for the majority, so it can't be taken up as a rule or as a serious suggestion. And one more important thing, which Forbes magazine also reported: emergence of relationship issues between the significant others. With more time at hand, you tend to spend more time together, which is a change in the lifestyle, and two routines change. This is a big adjustment and many persons do not respond well to it. I will get back to my basic point here. Decide for yourself that what are you going to do with life? You may decide to not to retire and choose a different line of work, but you should be bold in making such a decision. Now I get to my point number 4, which is fixed budget and extra costs. You are retired with a plan and with good money in your bank account. You have done investments here and there, and have a strong portfolio. You get very handsome profit from the investments on monthly or quarterly basis. But this is still a fixed amount, or it falls in a particular range of money. Let's say 60 to 70,000 per year, or any amount that you plan for. Now there is your estimate of expenses, and you have set aside money for these expenses, but what about unforeseen expenses? First such expense can be long-term health care. When you need help with activities of daily living, that's when you need long-term care. And it is not covered by regular insurance. Investopedia reports that long-term care insurance is very expensive and has a small market. Affordability of old persons is low and costs of such care are not affordable for them. So you can be one such person who needs long-term care. Have you planned for it? If not, start doing it. Let's look at another extra cost. House renovation. It can be something beyond routine repair and maintenance. You will have to replace your furniture one day, and even before that day you may want to just change the interior of your home. How much have you saved for this kind of expense? Need to change vehicle. Have you saved for its financing? Experts have reported that a major problem faced by people upon retirement is organizing their financial lives. Moving on the subject of renovation, it may not be just due to wear and tear of the house or just your wishes. You may have to do it for health issues. Building a ramp, widening of hallway space, and new spacious door of washroom to accommodate a wheelchair. Getting bars fixed in different walls of the house so that you can hold on to them when needed. All these needs will come with age. You may not need these now, but what about later in life? Have you planned for these? Many people thinking about retirement do not plan for these extra costs in a fixed budget for living after retirement. I would say, make use of my video and start planning for it. My 5th point is managing the investment portfolio. Many Americans build an investment portfolio and consider it safe for retirement. It is no doubt a very smart thing to do. The secret behind the investment portfolio for retirement is its diversification. Making investments in safe options is good thinking, but smart thinking will be to safeguard yourself against economic pressures and other external circumstances that affect investments. Experts from Nasdaq advise to include a diverse range of investment assets in portfolio. Instead of only having different stocks, you have stocks, bonds, cash, real estate, gold, and other commodities. It is often observed that in case of falling stock market, prices of bonds rise because investors move money to less risky investments. So, my advice will be to make a list of possible investments. Less risk and low profit investments, high risk and high profit investments, and moderate kind of investments. Do it for all the different options available. Do it for stocks, bonds, real estate, and whatever you want to invest in. Make a chart of investment possibilities and see what decision can you reach. Thanks to the internet, you can collect more data about possible investment avenues. You can also consult experts of different sectors for professional advice. At the end, you should ideally have options for a diversified investment portfolio. My advice is, take calculated risks and go for a safe investment portfolio. Conclusion. So, this was my 5-point guide for you. Follow these planning steps and have answers to the challenges of planning retirement. Keep watching my channel Personal Finance Logics for more valuable and logical information.